if that's correct. Do everyone, am I audible? Oh, okay. All right. Can everyone just come into the chat and say, hey, I run XYZ business and okay. All right. All right. Thank you. I can see the first person from Wesley. The name of my business is Maduma's Biomass Energy, and we are solving the problem. Let's just quickly get on there, then we can start. I'll just be waiting for um uh so I have a share screen request. All right. Okay. I think it has been given. Thank you. Mm. I'm waiting for everyone to just do that so we can have a meaningful discussion. All right, I can see we have three persons in here that has done that, or four now. Okay, I would get started and I'll go back there. So please, just if you know you've not done that, just quickly do that. I want to know the name of your business once again and the problem you think you are solving for. Yeah. So this session is about growth strategy, especially pertaining to how you can win and get maximize capture value using sales and marketing, which again are critical for startups. As uh, as has been introduced and said, one good thing is that I've been working at the startup ecosystem for almost a decade now, and it's been one that I've also learned a lot from personally. I've worked with Google when it comes to the Google Business Group, Google also Academy, and Digital Skills for Africa, which are programs that I help build, help train several thousands of. Um, Sorry, sir. Someone saying something. Okay. And also, when it comes to Meta, Meta are this uh, program in conjunction with Shelit Africa, yes, a women program which I also helped train about 100 women, which Facebook uh, had this accelerator with. And right now, I'm not in the ecosystem business. I'm also building my startup in North America, Area Guinea AI, and it's something that we are trying to ship several products to the North American market. And again, my name is Daniel. So three key things we'll be talking about today. Before I go back to the charts now to talk about to see the kind of businesses and the problems that we're solving. I'd want us to, because it's going to be, we're going to take a lot of time and we're going to say a lot of things. So if you can take notes, please take notes. Would break down the foundation today is to tell you about several orientations or go-to-market orientations that we have. We have the product orientation, we have the market orientation, we have the selling orientation. And one of the good things when I went to business school in Canada is walking around the market orientation. I'm going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how do we build the tactical engine of our sales and marketing. How do we go to market? All right. What are the strategies? How do we sell our products? We have key engines that we need to look at and adapt for the African market, especially those who are selling for the Nigerian African market. We have what we call the four P's of marketing, the key product marketing mix, the product, place, price, promotion. We have what we call the STP, which are these are critical frameworks you need to understand as a builder, as a entrepreneur, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. We have the VRIO, which is an analytical framework that I will talk about also. Then we then finally go through how do you now scale through these different funnels and use a go-to marketing strategy to take your business to the market. We're going to have about 6, 7 sessions that will break all of this into. So now, before I go to my core thing, I just want to look at some of the businesses that we have. I see that we have again from Wesley, the first person, Match Gums Biomass Energy, and we are solving the problem of expensive and unreliable electricity. Awesome, I love that. Thompson Abiola, empowering startups with mentorship, tech skills, co-working spaces. Oh, this is awesome. We have My Name is Free Will Foundation, a non-governmental organization where we deal basically in rendering help to children in orphanage home. Also another awesome service. Cocoa Vita Limited, solving the problem of limited availability of natural sweeteners for food and beverage. Oh, okay. This is almost like a supply chain business. My name is Dorothy Akende, founder of She Do Agritech, bridging the gap between rural women farmers and consumers by providing food services using tech to reduce food waste in Benue State. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love this agric ecosystem business. Uh Olubusayo Joel, my name is Peculiar Styles. Would have been nice. I know what Peculiar Styles is doing. Um Afolabi Docker says, my name is business. The name of my business is Meet My Needs. Okay, still in ideation stage. We are solving the problem of unsafe, untraceable meat in Nigeria by providing consumers and vendors with hygienic, verified, and convenient protein sources. Cloud Solar is the name of our business. We are solving the lack of access to sustainable energy in Nigeria due to the epileptic power grid and high initial cost of deployment of solar powered system. My name is Elizabeth Odanyi. Business is Isabella's Place, a luxury apparel lifestyle brand for exotic bespoke styling. Awesome. Solving problems by being a structured, dependable, quality focused garment. Okay. The next is we're solving the problem of farmers, fresh produce distributors, cooperatives, and individual agribusiness, assessing larger customer base and managing businesses using tech. Williams Daniel says name of his business is Design Agritech, and the business goal is to make sure there is all-round available farm product. I love that there is a lot of agri ecosystem business. Then we have the Maxine Ebulom, founder of Alpha Loom, that is building logged in force, high discipline digital accountability system. Ooh, tackling the problem of excessive phone use, doom scrolling, which distract people, waste time, and prevent them from achieving their goals, uh, or building consistent habits. Love that. Then Adeniran Olamide says we are building Whispath. Whispath is a privacy-first, research-focused AI platform powered by Chop3 that captures multilingual field interviews and meetings, both online and offline. I love this. And transform them to accurate transcript. I love this. Peculiar Styles back again and says the Peculiar Styles is solving unaffordable shirts and skirts among students. I love these because, again, some people have not been able to articulate the problem they're solving, but it's good that at least we know where we're going to. I love that there are a lot of people knowing how to solve their problem. And if you know the problem you are solving, that's at least 2 of 10. Then you now know who you are solving for, which we call ICP, ideal customer profile, right? Who is the ideal person you are solving for, and what markets do you want to play at? But that's by the way, we'll get there. So as we look at all of these, several businesses, several ideas, we see that the success level, the success ecosystem is not a straight line. Let's start with that. It is like a storm. It is like a red ocean for entrepreneurs, especially in this day and age, and especially in Nigeria, because the environment is facing a lot of shifts, and the shifts are happening by the time, by the hour, especially with integration of AI, with several FX volatility. The dollar naira is not stable. The entry limitations are low. Bar of entry is low. Everybody can enter and exit the market. There's a lot of turbulence, and marketing is not just running ads. I tell people. It is not just I go on Google, I run ads, I go on Facebook, I run ads, I get customer. That's not marketing. That's probably advertising. It's different from marketing. Marketing itself is like what now steers you on that storm and directs you to where you go. Sales is now that engine that gets you to where you are going. Because marketing is saying that, hey, we have to go longitude, latitude, 2 degree, 5 degrees. These are the this is the market where we can find customers for this problem we're trying to solve. Sales now gets you there because sales has some one-on-one. I'm echoing. I don't know if someone can mute. Yeah. So someone needs to mute. I'm echoing. All right. Also, as we get started trying to talk about marketing and sales, I would say that I will still need you be ready to. I love interactive sessions. I might want you to, raise up your hands and all of that, or maybe answer some questions at some point. So please be ready. Now, a lot of people confuse marketing and sales. These are two different things. Marketing helps us to create demand or generate demand, right? Number one, we start from what are the needs of people that we need to solve. Some of you have already started identifying needs, so you started your marketing strategy already. Now, the next thing marketing does is it start to build a brand equity. The name of the business is part of marketing. The logo of your business is part of marketing. Choice of color is part of marketing because it is brand building. And this now affects how people and your customers perceive you. That's part of marketing. And marketing is not one-to-one, it's one-to-many. You are not talking to one person, you're talking to several people. Why the opposite is sales? Because marketing has helped you to generate demand. Sales help you to harvest those demands, especially for businesses that are B2B. Yeah, B2C also have some form of that, right? And with sales convert the intent because the funnel, it starts with intent, awareness, then consideration. In the consideration, we have intent. How you convert that intent to revenue is most likely to sales. Sometimes marketing does not fully convert the demand circle. Also, marketing does not deal a lot with objections. Objection handling is a skill that sales helps us to solve. Marketing also doesn't solve the relationship management, especially when you have stakeholders businesses, like some of those people that are trying to do some logistic, some agri-tech based business. You will need some relationship management. Then sales is one-to-one rather than one-to-many as marketing does. Now let's look at marketing and let's come to marketing itself. I said from the beginning that we have three orientations that I want to start my conversation with today. The first is um, the first is product orientation. Then we go to uh, market orientation. Then we go to selling orientation. And these three orientations are what some of these things are business school conversations. And I'll try to just break them down to, um, again, simple and simpler ways of understanding these things. Now, when we come to product orientation, it is more about I want to build the best product. And I don't even care about who my business is. That's how I'm starting as an entrepreneur. I just want to build the best products. I just want to make it well and make it work. I want to build, someone says they are building a solar business. I want to build the best solar system that people can use to generate the best electricity, right? It's like a factory kind of mindset. The focus is about the features, it's about the engineering, it's about having the best version of that product. I'm just about costs of the product and the margin I'm going to give and is equals to price. I don't care about any other thing. So my conversation, the attitude of a sorry, the attitude of a product-oriented seller or entrepreneur is about, I want to make it well. Businesses will come. That's all. This is what I make. Please buy it. The orientation of a market-oriented startup is, I find a need. It's about the customers. What do customers need at this point? Someone says, I am solving the problem of shirts and skirts for students. Right. That is a product orientation. What is a market orientation? What kind of shirts and skirts do the students need at this point? What is the style? Maybe there is a particular style. So I'm solving the problem of making available XYZ kind of style of shirts and skirts for students. That's market orientation. It is research driven. It's not just, it starts with idea, but the core part of it is research driven. It's based off customer needs, customers' benefits. It's what sustains a business, and that is where businesses are running into now. And your mindset is: does this solve someone's problem? Whose problem? What is the demography of this person? It solves this problem. What is his profile? Where does he stay? What channels does he use to buy? Right? What is the value that this person places on this product? Then we have the selling orientation. Sell what we have. It is mostly just about I have produced whatever. I can sell whatever I want to sell. Right? I just have to put money on marketing. Some people just tell you that, oh, just put a lot of money on marketing and that is it. No, because at the end of the day, the moment you just have a selling orientation, it is short term. You just want to win in the short term. You just want to have some bit of, some core win. But selling orientation is not the best because it's just about aggressive promotion to just clear inventory. It's mostly seasonal than it does not take you for the long term, right? And I hope that. So I would want to ask now for all of us in this place on the chat, tell me currently, not because of this speech, right now, where do you think is the orientation of your business? Do you think your business is product orientation? Do you think it is market orientation? Or do you think it is selling orientation? I want everyone to put it on the chat right now. Product orientation, market orientation, or selling orientation. Please, you don't have to unmute, just chat. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going through the chat now. I see Chineye says market orientation. Afolabi Doka says product orientation. Okay, just two people. I'm still waiting for others to come to the chat and tell us what orientations do you think you are currently using? And I'll talk about, before I go to the market analysis, I'll talk about um, um, a business called Chowdeck. How many of us know Chowdeck? Chowdeck is this Nigerian business. It's now an household name. And they looked at the Nigerian ecosystem. They went with a market orientation. They saw that to solve a lot of there are a lot of food apps. They were not the first, they are not the 100, they're not the 1,000 food apps. But they saw that Nigerian professionals, especially those who are, ready to spend money, they have some they are tech adopters, they are liquid, right? They are hungry every day, but they are also always in the traffic, or traffic had made them going out impossible to go and buy food. And they saw that the existing delivery services, the supply chain is broken. They wanted to solve the problem of food availability, right? Right? They didn't just build an app to solve the food availability. What did they do? They solved the problem by solving delivery, not just the app, food, right? They understood that there was a job to be done. There's something in marketing we call job to be done. I'm going to explain that. What problem do they want? What job do they want child deck to solve in everyday life? The problem is that people can get hot food, good and hot food in their hands in 20 minutes, in 15 minutes, in worst case scenario, 30 minutes. And they knew that we had traffic. They employed bicycle riders to supply food faster. Now, there is an app, a business. So someone can say, my goal is to solve food problem, right? But how do you do that? Understanding the market, understanding what the ideal customer profile wants and needs. And how do you get into the market orientation? I see a lot of people are talking about their orientations uh, right now. I see a lot of market. I hope the market orientation is really market orientation. But some who says, okay, product orientation. Product orientation is also good. But I will always say in business schools, right now, you are taught to go into the market orientation, not just build and build, but build for the customer. Right. So if you are currently in not in market orientation, please switch to market orientation. Right. So let's go into the market analysis right now. Because to get into the market orientation, we need to have some bit of this, is the first section, intelligence before the strategy. And I'm going to take you to a 5C framework. How do you do research that, like Chowdeck solved a problem using the marketing orientation? How can you solve that problem? We call this the 5C framework. It's a marketing analytics framework. It's something that you need to break down. The first one is the first and most important C is the customers. Who has the pain I'm trying to solve? You have to ask yourself, what is their demography? Who are they? Then there's something called job to be done, JTBD. What is two ways? What is the job my my product will do for them? Your product has to have a job in their lives. And it's not just writing the pain point. What everyday job? Because people pay for a job to be done. Someone wants hot food. He goes to Chowdeck because he's going to get a quick delivery. And someone will not open their food in the middle. And when I was in Nigeria, I remember one time we ordered food and rice and chicken. The delivery guy had ate the chicken on the road and delivered only rice. We got rice without chicken. All right. And that was after maybe 1.5 hours. So the guy probably is driving to deliver the food on his bike. and got stuck in traffic. He's hungry and he says, there is rice at my back here. Why should I deliver this rice and chicken when I am hungry? There's a job to be done in my own life that's not been done, right? And these guys want to solve another person's job and probably I've wasted enough fuel or gas, as we call it, that I feel like if I continue going on this journey, I would not really, I wouldn't maximize my economic potential. Let me solve my hunger job with the chicken. He sat down, probably, and ate the chicken. And he came in and, gave us rice without chicken, right? So now the first is, what is their job to be done? You have to write it down. So right now, you have to have a document that writes these 5C clearly. Number two is competitors. Who are your competitors? Some competitors are direct, some competitors are indirect. The guy that is selling hot rice in the street is Chowdeck's competitor because, again, even though he's not buying, he could have bought rice on the street, but he can't buy that rice because probably he does not trust the kind of rice he wants to increase his scope from not just buying ERBC that is near him. He wants one nice KFC on the island or one Abula joint somewhere. That's a competitor. Then you have to look at your climate. What are the climates or the context, the environmental context? We call something macro factors. These are not macro. What are the regulations around me for those in agri-tech that are trying to solve agri-tech problem? What is the culture towards my kind of business? Someone wants to sell clothes. Someone is doing solar. If you are having a product mindset as a solar startup, it means that you are giving the best. But remember, the culture in Nigeria now is a sachetization economy. Sachets. People want something small. So instead of giving them the best version of solar for 5 million naira, probably you want to have a version that sells for 500,000 naira and you can face it, phase one, 500, phase two, 1 million. And you tell them that in the next 3 years, you can incrementally increase your solar ecosystem to this in 5 years. That's the culture. You sachetize the problem, the solution, right? Then you now come back to yourself. That's the fourth C. The company. What is your internal strengths? What can you do well? What are the skills you have that can solve this job? What are the skills you don't have? Who are your collaborators? This is the biggest part. The stakeholders. Who are your distributors? Who are your vendors? Who are your tech partners? You have to have these documents. And I would say that as part of the assignment for this session, you submit it to the accelerator. You have every business have to write out their 5C framework, right? Might not be today, but you have to submit it, right? Make it very detailed. Now let's go to the next. Let's analyze the Nigerian ecosystem where I talked about climate. I talked about naira fluctuations. You have to understand that there is volatility around naira fluctuations. So in your costing, whatever way you are doing your costs, either you are doing it as the cost plus margin equals to the price, or you try to understand the value, you come through the value way, whatever pricing is a different uh, marketing conversation. I have to take a B class to teach pricing because, again, I took pricing for almost 3 months in business school. You also have to understand the cost of doing business. Power is a big one. Power and logistics. What are your costs? Then what is the trust deficit? That is like high barrier to entry for unknown brands. Because you're an unknown brand, you know that the barrier to enter is low. So you have to find a way to solve that cost trust deficit. Because of time, another strategic audit tool that we use in marketing is SWOT. Because before you take a product to the market, you have to understand the SWOT analysis. What are the positive side of things? The S and O are the positive side of things. What are your, and there are a lot, the internal are positive, are S and W, which is the one that is under your control. What are your strengths? Is under your control. You have intellectual property. You have a founder network like we have here. These are strengths. You have lean operating costs. These are strengths. They are under your control. What are your weaknesses? You don't have a lot of cash. People don't know you. Your brand awareness is zero. It's under your control. You can change it, although it is negative. But the ones that you can't change, but are external, you have to monitor your opportunities. If you are selling to a young audience, your product is more for young people. We have a growing Gen Z in Nigeria. It's a big market. We have high digital penetration. A lot of people are online. We have the AFCTA, which gives access to a broader African market ecosystem. That is an audit. You have to understand what are the threats. Regulatory changes are a lot. If you are today, you hear they are banning solar, tomorrow you hear they are not allowing panels to come in. If you are in that kind of business, there are question marks. If you are in the clothing business, for those that says they are trying to sell this and that, you know that materials are having also regulatory changes, importing of those things. What are the current price wars? You just have to monitor, because if the big guys that have the high market share start to increase or decrease price because of you, you're going to lose out. There's something else we call Porter's five forces. And this is to understand the attractiveness. And before you even sell in marketing, we always tell people, look at the Porter's five forces before you go too far with your businesses. This is where you know if you want to stop or start. What are the barriers to entry for new entrants? As a new entrant business, it's not just to have the beautiful idea in your head. How many people are currently having that idea? How many people are currently running that business? Who are the buyers? And we have a sachet economy right now in Nigeria. What is the bargaining power of your buyers? Who are your suppliers? How do you rely on them for raw material, for importations, and all of that? Are there substitute to your businesses? We once ran a startup. So I've run several startups in Nigeria, and I can tell you that because of the one, the cash problem in Nigeria, two, the sachetization in Nigeria, it is very hard to penetrate. It's not uneasy, but it is very difficult. Truly. Right. Right now, again, I've seen markets that work, that are stable, and I prefer to build there. But if we are building there because there is high potential, there are a lot of problems in Nigeria. So there are a lot of solution providers, and there is a lot of gaps which we can take. So the substitute, you have to look at the substitute. Then who are the rivalry? What are the rivals you have? These are Porter's five forces. I don't want to dwell in there. And I will just end in this session by talking about probably whatever session we end with in 30 minutes. Then we can do that some other time. I'll quickly tell you about Transition Holdings so that you understand how people come up with innovative solution in marketing. Transions, they are the producers of techno. When phones just came out in Nigeria, we were only using one SIM, Nokia and BlackBerry. Those were like a Motorola. These were one SIM. And because of the issues with some networks not available in some places, people started buying two, three phones. They wanted to have different phones so that they can, where there is no, then even in Lagos, there were areas where MTN is not working, it is Glo that is working. Glo is not working, it is Econet that was working, right? At that point in time. Now, Transions had to commission a business school to help them to look at the Nigerian market. How do they solve this problem? How did they come into this market? There was already big players there. Then they said, you have to use a market orientation. How do you use a market orientation? Understand the 5 C's. The customer is king. What the customer wants to have 3 SIMs, 2 SIMs, because he wants to be able to switch networks, right? Why not have a phone that can have two SIM or multi-network compatibility? That's one. Beautiful. Number two, the cameras that were on those phones as at then, they were for lighter skins. So when we take pictures, they don't bring out the black beauty. So they said, why not optimize our cameras for black skin? Good. Because some of the phones in Nigeria are not as abroad. Why? Because they are built for Nigeria, and Techno, which is the baby company of product of Transions Holdings, we are that. This case study I'm telling you, studied in Harvard Business School, is one of the best understanding of market orientation. Then they said another thing is battery. Battery, battery. There is no light in Nigeria. Why not have batteries that can last long? No one sells phone abroad and tell you that battery life is 10 days, is 4 days. No one sells that. That's not a feature you sell abroad. It's mostly in Nigeria, in Africa. Then they started doing high capacity battery for because there are power scarce regions in Nigeria. For them, at the end of the day, they didn't just sell phones. They sold solutions to African problem, which is market orientations. And with that, Techno won the Nigerian market. They pursued people like Nokia out of the business. They pursued people like this were the BlackBerry out of the business in Nigeria. They became the biggest, strongest, phone companies in Nigeria because they went through market orientation. And good for them. They were enter what we call a red ocean, but they created a blue ocean out of a red ocean. A, a red ocean is where there are a lot of competitors. A blue ocean is where there are no competitors when you are marketing, right? So there were a lot of competitors with one SIM, but they created a blue ocean. Only them had dual SIM. Only them had strong batteries. Only them had cameras that you can look beautiful at. It was a market just for them. Every other person was on a different kind of market. So they created a new market. Let's talk about, as we look at Transion, it now leads us to something we call STP. STP means segmentation, targeting, and positioning. You have to be able to um, you have to be able to segment the people you want to sell to or the market you want to sell to. Then define the core targets you want to target. Then how do you now position your business for these targets? How do I strategically make them know that I am available? This is what I say. This is where I say choose your battleground. As we segment, let's start with segmentation. Don't just segment people you want to sell to by age or gender. Segment by situation. Segment by the job to be done. Right? We have a Lagosian, right? Between the ages of 25 to 35, earning 500,000 per month. That is the situation. I also want to now break out the job to be done for this demography because I am like a fintech. These people says I need a way to pay for food safely without carrying cash. That is what I want. I don't want to hold cash. That's another job to be done. Another job to be done can be I need a way to get food in my apartment without going out because I work remotely. That's another job to be done. So what is the job to be done? What do people say when they need your business? You have to be able to write it out like this. You have to understand there is a strategic value in non-observable motivations and also tactically profile them by understanding their observable traits. What are their traits? Is observable. Traits are observable. Sometimes motivations are not observable, but traits are observable. So when we go through the STP strategy, now we are finished with the market analysis. We want to now go to the market. We want to sell. The first is job to be done. That's how you start getting revenue. Revenue is from understanding what job is your business is your solution, is your startup having to this demographic? When we now get to targeting, you have to understand that we now have a big segment. It's a big segment. Lagosians, big segment. 25 to 35, big segment. Any 500K per month, big segment. But when I come to target, who do I target among these big segments? Because when you try to serve everybody, you become like a commodity, you are a common business. Every bankable business, every startup that sells, they pick what we call a village, a small target. Then they dominate that small target. They dominate it by picking number one, what is the size of the market that I need and what is the profitability index? What is the growth potential? What is the competitor intensity? Are there a lot of competitors? You can find a small size of business where there are not a lot of competitors, but you can have quick, good income. Then finally positioning. Because of time, I'll just quickly rush here. There are two people, two marketing generals. One is Kotler, one is Sharp. Kotler says that when you have segmented your business, the segment you want, when you have chosen the target out of that segment, you have to be able to position your business by, Sharp says, be distinct. Kotler says, be different. I will explain both. What Kotler means is that in positioning your business, you have to ensure that you have features that no one else have. Like our app is 2 seconds faster than every other person. That is how you position yourself by Kotler. Sharp says, no. And I'm giving you both so that you can choose whichever way you want to position your business. Sharp says what we call mental availability. You can go online and search for what we call mental availability. Is that our app is the only one you remember when you are hungry. That is how. That you remember when you are facing that problem. Position yourself that people remember you when I want to solve this. Who do you remember? When you want an app that gets you money faster, a bank app, which bank do you remember? When you want um when you want to buy food online and you want something that no one will. Let me even ask this question, you can answer on the chat. When you want a bank, now not your bank, when you think of a bank that when someone sends you money, you will get the money fast, sharp, 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 which bank comes to your head? Tell me on the chat. Okay. Ope. This is what we call mental availability. Ope has positioned themselves to a state of mental availability. Everyone remembers them. They've gone with the Sharp, even though they have some Cutlass functional features. But because they've been able to position themselves, they are offering in a way that it occupies a distinct place in the mind of the target market, that everyone feels like, oh, I am the best. Ope, do you know how Ope started in Lagos? Ope started as a bike app. Okada. That's how they started. And they started with, to ride the bike, you have to have a wallet. Then they built that wallet, and that wallet, which was a side piece. They saw that wallet was even the main chick, not the side piece, right? And they made the wallet the main wife, the first wife, and they removed the second wife. And that's how the wallet has become and gained what we call mental availability. There's one of my favorite guy, I call Marquis. You can check him up. He's one of the best marketing guy in the world, marketing strategy guy. He has what we call a dynamic strategy. He says that we should see marketing as a loop and not a marketing strategy and not a destination, especially when it comes to positioning. He says, number one, find a strategic position you want your business to play at. Please mute. Please mute.
Pastor Kunna, please always mute your mic. I've told you this thing uncountable times.
Thank you. Find a unique strategic position you want to position at. Number two, be better at that place. Opay didn't just position themselves there, they were better. They found ways where they were better at faster payments. Faster. So another person wants to have a lot of features, 1,000 fee. Your bank apps have different things, international transfer. Opay says we want to be better at faster. When you want fast, because that's what the Nigerian market wants. You don't know why we have what the word called the only Nigeria we have what we call sharp. We want things fast. They know the segments. They've been able to say that the target we are looking for, the way we want to position to this target, is to be better than the other people. Then you'll be ready to transition. You might not start at that very big place where you are trying to solve several people. I saw where a lot of people say want to solve this person's need. Sometimes you want big market. No, find a smaller market. Then you can now shift as the market takes change, like Opay. Opay shifted from bike to staying more as a bank, as a bank app. Then you can manage your old and new positions at once. When you have gotten advantage in the old position, you can then come into the new. The VRIO is a framework that I have an Excel sheet for this. You have to ask yourself, as you are when you are looking for a place to position, positioning is the biggest thing, not running ads. Marketing is more than that. Number one, you ask yourself 4 questions. Am I valuable than the rest? Does my value neutralize threats? The value I want to bring in. If it's yes, it means that you have a good position. You look at the next step, rarity. Do others have exact thing I have? Am I rare? Am I bringing a rare thing? Chow deck, remember, you get your food faster. That's rare. In a bicycle, no traffic can stop you. It's not even a bike, traffic stops a bike. With a bicycle, you're fast. In a mile radius, that's rare. Are you inimitable? Can people copy your idea quickly? Yes. Hold on. If it's yes. Organized. Can you capture value well? Do you have payment integration? How will people, pay you? If it is good, good. So when you use the VRIO way, it is a way to understand how to position. The STP is the best strategy you can ever use for marketing. You segment, you target, then you find ways where you can position yourself. And to position, I've given you the VRIO framework. I've also told you about the Markidis dynamic strategy. And there is what we call upstream and downstream. I don't want to go too far about this. Because of time, I have just about 10 minutes. I'm going to try to look at section 3 so I can, again, the tactical mix. As we have finished the STP, which is segmenting, targeting, and positioning, we now need to take this product to the market. And when we call tactical means, I mean the 4 Ps. We have, how many of you can write, if I want to know people that understand the 4 Ps, the 4 Ps of marketing, can you, if you know them, can you list them out on the chart? 4 Ps. P1, P2, P3, P4. As a free mark, the first P is on the screen, products. Oh, price, place, people, products. Okay. That's 4P. This 4P does not have people, is 5 Ps that have people. The 4 P is price, place, promotion, and products. People is in the 5 Ps, but I'm going to make that a standalone. Now let's talk about how we now sell when we have finished positioning. You can say for the best products do not sell, we do not sell products, we sell solutions. Number one, we have a 5 kVA solar inverter with lithium cells. That is selling features. Yes, you can put that under the features, but people have problem that they want to be solved, and they must see it. The benefit is sleep in peace with the fan on all night, even when NEPA fails. That is the real benefit. That is what people want to hear. People want to hear the outcome. What is the meaning of 5 kVA solar inverter with lithium cells? Technical. Not everyone understands this. Your target will be too small. But when you tell people that you sleep, then under you now say that this comes with a 5 kVA solar inverter. It's simpler. People want to hear the outcome of your products. Sometimes not just your features. And when we come to the second one, the second P, which is price. Price is a big topic. But we must remember that we have the sachetization economy. We have an economy that even big businesses, you have to try to break down your value. You don't have to price by the costs. You have to price by the pain that you have solved per time. So what pain are you solving at XYZ time? Right? And you have to understand that you can reduce the unit size to ensure that you can meet daily cash flows, especially for those that are selling products. You can, instead of saying, 100 of this thing cost 5 million naira, why not say 10 costs 100,000? And the formula for calculating your value proposition is by knowing the benefit divided by the price. Again, a very big class, I have to teach you how to use this formula, but maybe because of time. And the next is place, because distribution is king. Place is sometimes the biggest hurdle for businesses in Nigeria. How do you distribute your products? We have 3 ways I know is very popular in Nigeria. The first one is direct to customers. You directly, like child deck, sell to customers. It gives you higher margins, but you have high cost of delivery that you have to look at the logistics. Number 2 is the agent network, like the OPR Money Point, having POS agents everywhere, having local kiosk level. So you might also want to use that network to say, okay, we want to use the network of this OP model and also distribute our products. You also have where you have micro fulfillment, like again, we have here Amazon, where you have warehouses in high density areas for those that are selling things and say, okay, in Yaba, I want to have one, in Alaba. So if people make an order, they can pick things up in those areas. So if you are selling services also, you want to have locations in high density area. You have to sort your distribution strategy critically, because you can't do marketing without this marketing mix. Then the promotion. After you have done everything, then we come to the advertising session. You have to promote in 4 different models or areas. Number 1, you have to ask yourself, am I in the awareness funnel stage? Am I in the place where people are having interest? Am I in the place where they now have desire or consideration? Then finally, action. Don't just come and do buy now promotion when people are just being aware. No, you have to first do some bit of awareness promotion for people to be aware that you are there, aware that you are solving a problem, or even for them to be aware that they have a problem. Some people have problems, they are not aware that they have a problem. You have to make them aware. Maybe someone is only using NEPA light and generator. He never is not aware that there can be a solar system. He's not aware of that kind of solution. So you can use Facebook for reach and WhatsApp for closing. There are now a lot of WhatsApp integrations, right? Also, don't forget the referral loops when you are promoting. It's very big in the Nigerian ecosystem. Refer a friend and get something. And remember, we talked about Kotler's sharp version of being distinctive, right? Kotler says be different. Sharp says be distinct. You have to build that mental availability across all channels. I've talked about WhatsApp. And in the sales funnel, as part of, so marketing has given you a lot of people now because it has generated demand. You now need to close them. In your marketing, you have to ensure that in your sales funnel, you have to look at where you are losing people. Let's say marketing is not giving you a lot of reach, you are not reaching a lot of people. Probably you want to increase your ad spend or you want to do some more SEO, which is a search engine optimization funnel. You want to ensure that when people go online, they can search your website are search engine optimized. Those are another conversation. Your titles, your headers, your copies, they are keywords that your targets are looking for, your ideal customer profile are looking for. Sometimes they are confused about that product in this middle place, this lead nurturing, because the down is sales. You see this lead nurture, these are the middle guys. They need more information. They need you to talk about your product more. So you need to sometimes build automated email campaigns. You can even have what we call lead magnets. Design something about their problem and how you are solving it, not about your product now. 5 ways to this. 5 ways to ensure that you don't have darkness again in your house, right? That's random, but that's it. 5 designs, low-cost designs to make you look elegant every day. That's for dressing. You have, but before you get this document, you have to give me your email address, right? You put it on Facebook. So people do not just see you as they are not remembering you as just a place they buy materials or buy clothes. They remember you as an advisory, someone they can look up to when they have problems. They go to your channel looking for solution. And that is where you now capture them with sales, right? You can reach them one-on-one. You can email them. You can send them WhatsApp. That is when they enter your sales funnel by uh, now completing the sales transaction and ensuring that, don't forget, get testimonials, get social proof. That is very big. And founder visibility. People buy from people. People buy from people. What are you saying about your product? Are you yourself using your product? Are you representing your product? Right? I think we have 3 more sections. I wouldn't be able to go more than this today. I have a 10 o'clock my time, which is your 4. So again, I wish that we were able to have more interaction, but because I wanted to cover more sessions, I hope you got a lot from this session. I'll find time to probably come back again and complete the session. Um, Before I hand over, I want you to tell me 2 things that you got, or 3 things you got from this session on the chat. Don't tell me thank you. It's fine. I came here for you. Tell me 3 things you got, value you got from this session. Tell me 3 valuable things you got from this session on the chat. I want to see everyone do that. Don't forget also the assignment. Okay, I should build mental availability. I love that, Deborah. Distribution is king. I love that. Chinenye says, we do not sell product, we sell solutions. That is critical. Product availability is critical. I want 3 things per person. The 5C framework, Pastor Akuna. Good, great. Right. All right. This is where I hand over the button to um the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, we can
okay,
hear you.
okay. Thank you so much, sir, for such a
Yeah, thank
wonderful
you for having
session.
me. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you so much. So I believe we all enjoyed today's session because I was seeing people's comments. Um, I've sent the attendance for today in the group chat. So do where to fill it. So people not start crying. I didn't sign today's attendance. I didn't sign today's attendance. So I'll drop the link again. Okay. So while we are filling the attendance, a video will be played.
When it comes to making great investment decisions, everyone needs a buddy. Now you have one. Introducing Wealth Buddy, the go-to app where you can save, invest, and pay your bills. Now you have a buddy to help you reach your money goals, uncover attractive investment opportunities, and make payments with the press of a button. Here's how it works. Saving on the Wealth Buddy app is super easy. First, ensure you are logged into the app on your mobile device. Then head over to your savings dashboard. Click on the plus sign to see a list of savings options to choose from. Add your goal details and start date. You can also add a photo to personalize your goal. Choose to fund your savings plan from your debit card, and then you're all set. There are several options to choose from when you invest with the Wealth Buddy app. Head over to the investment dashboard. Click on the Add Investment button. Select on the Create Investment option. Choose an investment option from the list. Read all the information, then click Invest at the bottom. Fill in the required information. You can also add a photo to personalize your investment. Choose to fund your savings from your debit card or your wallet, and then you're all set. You can also pay your bills conveniently directly from the Wealth Buddy app. Go to the wallet dashboard and select one of the bill's payment options. Pick a bill you want to pay from the drop-down. Fill the relevant details and choose to pay with either your debit card or your wallet. And just like that, you're all set. Start your journey with your new body. Download the Wealth Buddy app on all iOS and Android devices today.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. I believe everyone watched the video that was played. It's from our partner, and I'll encourage everyone to sign up in their platform. I'll be dropping the link in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for today's class, and do have a wonderful weekend.